Hey guys, welcome to the Hospitality True channel. Today I want to dive into the topic of toxic work culture and real valid issues many of us face in these environments. If you're currently working in a toxic workplace, like so many in hospitality, you're going to want to tune in, okay? So listen, I feel for you and I understand how draining it can be. You show up every day wanting to do a good job, but the atmosphere, the broken communication, and the lack of value placed on your skills make it nearly impossible to thrive. Let's dive into broken communication first, okay? This is a huge part of the problem. It's frustrating when you're only given pieces of the puzzle and someone else swoops in with more information. It makes you feel like you don't know what you're talking about, right? It can be demoralizing. So, on a day-to-day, you're trying your best to contribute, but how can you help when you're not on the same page as the rest of the team? When you know you could add real value, right? But leadership doesn't tap into that experience. So it's hard to swallow. So when leadership holds back opportunities because of their own securities and they feel like they need to control everything, every piece of information, every decision, it stifles creativity and engagement in your workplace, but also in the environment, right? Your specific departments. So now it's even harder when you start to disengage from your coworkers, because this is what happens when you work in a toxic culture. You avoid interactions, you stay out of the spotlight, and you stop introducing ideas that could help, simply because it feels pointless. Who wants to waste their time, right? That's a big thing. So when you're dealing with leaders who micromanage, who refuse to value your input, why would you want to speak up? It's easier to keep your head down than fight a battle you feel you can't win, right? And this brings us to another key point in this toxic work culture, which is turnover. Turnover is almost a given. Why would employees stick around in an environment when they're not valued? When leaders think they know it all and refuse to listen or make changes, people leave. And when you see your coworkers constantly leaving, it reinforces the idea that no one is valued, including you, right? So people, how do we start to fix this? Let's look at some solutions, okay? First, if you're in a leadership position, recognize that communication is the foundation of a healthy work culture. It's not enough to give your team pieces of the story. People need the whole picture to feel involved and to trust the direction of the company. Make communication transparent and inclusive. Ensure that everyone, regardless of their role, feels informed and valued for their input. And second, leaders need to leverage the strengths of their team members. I cannot stress the importance of this enough. If you have someone on your team with valuable experience in customer service, training, or coaching, any sort of leadership that they're just naturally born with, tap into that knowledge. Listen, micromanaging comes from an insecure leader, and they hoard information and insist on being the only voice of authority. And this isolates their team. So empower your employees to share their insights, create solutions, and take ownership of their roles. Your staff is on the front lines. They are the most valuable piece of the puzzle that you can get this information from. It only helps. And then when you're tapping into their knowledge about every day what they go through on the line, they feel motivated to contribute, and then they end up staying long term because they feel valued. Okay? So third, I talked about micromanaging. I'll talk about it a little bit more again. Stop the micromanaging. Micromanagement is like the quickest way to kill trust and engagement of employees. Then they feel like they can't make decisions or contribute without being second guessed, right? And eventually they're going to stop trying. So if you give your team the space to work independently and trust that you can handle their responsibilities, this shift alone can dramatically change the energy in the workplace, making it a more positive and supportive environment. And finally, turnover is a symptom of a deeper issue in the culture. If staff members are constantly leaving, leaders, it's time to look in the mirror. Why aren't your people staying? And it's time to ask yourself a question, or questions, right? Are they feeling valued, heard, supportive? Or are they leaving because they don't see a future with your organization? So addressing these root issues is the only way you're going to reduce turnover and build a stable, engaged team, right? So all of this to say, let's sum it up in like a sentence. A toxic work culture can destroy morale. It creates high turnover and it leads to disengaged employees. But leaders, there is hope. By fixing communication, valuing the experience of your team, eliminating micromanagement, and addressing turnover head on, you can begin to turn the culture around. Listen, I want you to remember something. Healthy cultures lead to happy employees, and happy employees lead to better guest experiences. So thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget to follow my channel and feel free to share this link with anybody you feel could hear this or should probably hear this training, okay? You guys have a great day. Thanks for joining me.